Hey everyone, welcome back to Drawbridge Finance. My name is Levi Woods. I do not work in the financial industry and I am not offering financial advice. I am, however, an investor and I do enjoy making money by trading stocks. Today, I'm going to show you a little tip on how I like to set up a new portfolio in Google Finance. It's pretty straightforward. And if you guys are getting into investing, it's a great way to start. You can set up a mock portfolio with different stocks that you've researched. So I've got another video already on how to look up stocks on Google Finance. You should take a look at that video. I'll put the link up above. If we look on the left-hand side, you can see there's a portfolio section. So I'm going to click on that. You're going to see that one of my portfolios pops up. I've actually got a couple of them here. Today, I'm going to create a new one for you guys. The first thing that I would probably do is start with a stock. The stock I'm going to look up today is decay, which is the Canadian Bank Corp. So I'm just going to do a search here and here's the stock. There's a button up here called Add to Portfolio. So I'm going to click on that. We can click on Create New Portfolio. So I'm going to call this YouTube. Click OK. The portfolio is empty. I can add the symbol. So BK, add to portfolio. So now this is the start of a portfolio right now. Now there's no transaction data in there. So I'll show you guys how to do that. You go to edit transactions and we can just make up a mock date. Let's just say that we bought this stock on February 1st and that we bought 100 shares and we paid $12 for it. So if we click Save Changes, you will see that now we have had an overall return of 6% because the stock is $12.72. I kind of arbitrarily picked the number there. I don't know what it was actually trading out on February 1st. Now what I want to do is add some more shares to this. So there's a couple of different ways I can do this. If I'm up in the search bar, if I pull up another stock, let's say Chemtrade Logistics. So here we go. We can click Add to Portfolio and we can choose YouTube and then click Add to Portfolio. Now, if we click it, it'll add just like we did to the BK. So I'm going to do something slightly different this time. I'm going to use transaction data. So we're going to do a similar thing that we did before, but instead of posting it to the account and then going back and editing it, I'm just going to do the transaction data as I'm adding it to the portfolio. So here we go. Let's put this in for February 14th. And we're going to say bought 100 shares and we paid $20 for this. Now, I never put commission in there. I always work out my book value and divide by the number of shares to get the price that I've put in if I'm doing actual tracking of an actual portfolio. So I was a little bit off on that price. The $20 is trading at $18.48 right now. You can see by looking at the portfolio, the $12 that I put the BK in is multiplying by 100 shares to give us a $1,200 cost basis, and today's value is $1,272. So it's telling us we have an overall return, and this would be since the date of purchase, so since February 1st. And we have the monetary gain, so $72. Today's gain was a loss of $7, and the overall return is $6. Now, of course, you can actually report the dividend earnings into cash into this. I tend to not do that. So that's what's happened here is there was a dividend paid out and Google automatically recognizes that and takes that deposit as cash. I find that it just messes things up. So I don't do that. If you click on the edit portfolio button, you can actually click this little button here. It says enable dividend reporting. Proceeds are deposited to cash. Just click that off and hit save changes. And then that cash line disappears. It's still there, but it's just zeroed out. Now I'm going to add a whole bunch of stocks to this portfolio. If I click on Edit Portfolio, it's going to come up to this, and I can literally just type them in. Now you can sort them alphabetically. I like to do it custom because sometimes I have in a portfolio, I have stocks that I own, which I put alphabetically at the top of the portfolio. And then I have stocks that I'm looking at within that portfolio, and I put those down at the bottom. For this, I'm just going to put them in alphabetical order. You'll notice I'm putting in the exchange on here. So I'm putting a colon after the ticker and then TSE for Toronto Stock Exchange. Oh, I forgot one. Just look up the one that I forgot, Boston Pizza, and then let's just go add to portfolio and YouTube, add to portfolio. And now I don't really like the order that these are in right now, so I can just reorder them by going to edit portfolio, and I can take Boston Pizza and I can copy and paste it out of here and put it in the correct order. And I'm going to put another one in here, kwh.un. And when I'm adding a new one, I'm always putting the colon and then the exchange. That's how you set up a simple portfolio. I just want to go over what you can do with this portfolio because it's going to show you real-time data. Really, what you want to do is put in either, if you're doing like a test portfolio, what I would do is I would look up the price of the share, like let's say Boston Pizza. It's $22.54 today. Let's go back to the portfolio, click on Edit Transactions, and then Boston Pizza. We'll say that we were buying this today, so this will be 24th. And let's say we buy 100 shares and we're paying $22.54 because that's today's value. And now the commission, depending on where you are, you might have like a $10 commission. So we can put that in if you like. Click on Save Changes, and that is now in there. There is the option you can actually put in more transactions. So I could put in Boston Pizza again. Like I could click on Add Transaction Data, and I could put in a different buy date. So March 1st, and we could put 100 shares, and we could put a different price. So if you're buying at different times. I'm just showing you guys this. I don't actually like to do this. So I'm going to click Add to Portfolio. And what that does is, so you can see now it's got 200 shares in here, and instead of just 100, and it's added the cost basis together. But what that's done is if we go to Edit Transactions, you'll see that there's 2 lines now for Boston Pizza. So you have 2 different buys on 2 different dates. This is great because when you click on the performance window, it actually shows when that purchase happened. You can see the purchase happened right here on March 1st down in the chart, which is great. So over time, your chart grows correctly. I don't actually use the chart really in Google Finance because I find that all of my stocks pay dividends, and I use drips all the time. So each month, my shares actually go up. And when that happens, I have to go back and edit it. And if I did that each and every month, like Boston Pizza would have 12 transactions after only 1 year. And so if a portfolio was like 3 years old, you'd have 36 transactions for Boston Pizza, all with a couple shares. So that just doesn't make any sense. So instead what I do is I put them all on the same line. So I would delete this information here, and then I would use my calculator to figure out the price of the average price, and I would put it at the earliest date whenever that occurred. So the average price might be $22.42 in this case. Click on Save Changes, and you can see that this shows a much larger spike in the chart, which is actually incorrect because you bought them at 2 different times. But what it does allow is that you're not just expanding your transactions massively as you gain more stocks. Anyways, hopefully this gives you guys some insight into setting up your own mock portfolio so you can track your data. And please, if you have any comments or questions, please leave them on the video, and I will make more videos about your questions. Thanks so much for watching. Let's get rich together.